Good evening, YouTube. This is your buddy Chapadong coming at you with another quick tip type video. I don't really know how long this is going to take, and I don't really know how I'm going to go about explaining this, but instead of trying to save all of the screenshots and instead of trying to um, explain them tomorrow in picture format in an article, I thought I would just make a video and try and walk through them with you today. I want to show you how these things work. When we talk about the ladder system inside the DFS Army, that's where I'm a coach and contributor. That's who I represent. And obviously, you can go to dfsarmy.com and find out more information. Follow the link in the description and follow give me a like and a thumbs up and subscribe on YouTube here and keep the reach growing, keep the information flowing so that we can get out to more people and teach you guys to be better DFS players. That's what we do inside the Army with a lot of group coaching, a lot of one-on-one coaching, a lot of discussion in our Slack forums, and that's where I get all these questions from, and that's where I know where to teach from, what angle to take. This is geared towards my VIPs, and we talk much more in depth about these things inside the Army, but obviously I'm going to give you guys little snippets too because I'm getting a lot of feedback that it helps you too. If you want more information, you want more details and stuff, you got to become a member. You got to jump inside, use the code CHOP, C-H-O-P, and get yourself a 20% discount. Let's kind of dive in and show you what I mean when I say a ladder. It's a structure of contest selection that really and truly builds around a very, very safe floor for cash type lineups, but then it brings in upside because sometimes these cash lineups do very well and we want to get paid. If you live on a cash only diet, playing only 50-50s and only head-to-head matchups, I'm sorry, I don't think you can make money in DFS anymore. I don't believe it's possible. The rake is too high, the players are too sharp. It's just the way it is. You're also going to, it sucks to place third out of 100 people in a 50-50 and only get back double your money. You produced a top, 10%, top 3% lineup in that scenario, and you deserve to get paid accordingly. But if you only entered it in 50-50s, well, then you left money on the table. On the other flip side of that, we have GPPs and tournaments and things, and to be honest with you, you can't make money that way long term either unless you hit a really, really big one every once in a while. And I don't advocate to people that I talk to that they play those. I believe they're lottery tickets, and unless you have $10,000 and $20,000 bankrolls and can max enter a lot of those things, I don't think you're going to be successful long term there either because most people don't have the bankroll to withstand the variance. So how do we combat that? If I can't make money cash only and I can't make money GPP only without getting lucky, how can I make money in daily fantasy sports? Well, you do that by constructing a hybrid lineup, which we talk about inside the DFS Army. There's an article I might link here for what is a hybrid lineup that our CEO and founder, the Football Geek, wrote a couple of years ago. And then I want to explain how those lineups work with a cash foundation and then with upside towards winning GPPs and things like that inside those lineups. But we allocate different contests towards the ladder system, which is something that I devised, which will bring all of those, it will max out your score and your lineup's potential. When we're talking about a ladder, we're talking about a very specific way to enter contests, and I'll show you why here in a minute. This is two of them. You can see they're all very formulated, very rigid in that the same lineup goes in every single contest, and that's what forms the ladder. That's the way I teach it anyway. If we click by lineups, you can see that let's see, well, what the heck, let's start with the bad one. And we'll show you how close it was to the money line. But what I want to show you is I enter 50-50s, I enter triple up, a quintuple up, and a bigger league like a 100-man contest or a small GPP if I really want to hit a home run. And again, for the reasons why, you need to be a VIP inside the Army and use that coupon code and jump in and start talking with me and start asking me questions and I'll get you there, but it takes a lot more time than I have in this video. You can see the money line. It varies. 113, 113, 114, 116, it looks like. But anywhere around that gets into the top 50% of the world when it comes to scores and lineups. And if you allocate these correctly, then you unlock all of the fees. This $10, you would get paid back almost 10 bucks. And so your whole lineup would be paid for. Now for upside, because we're going to cross this line first, the next line we're going to work on is the triple up line, and the triple up line is about the top 28 to 30% of contestants. Now, if you beat 65, 70% of the world, you're going to create what I consider, the way I term it, a top 30% lineup, and that's going to get you into 10-man leagues if you like those, because they pay top 3 out of 10 is 30%, or it gets you into these triple ups where no matter where you finish, anywhere in the green here, you're getting back double, almost double your money on the 50-50. Anywhere in the green here, you're getting back triple, and anywhere in the green here, you're getting back 5x or quintuple, and then you start working on the little GPP area of this larger league. But what I'm going to show you is that this line is obviously higher. So it gives this lineup more potential. Once it crosses this, if you're only in 50-50s, you're done. It doesn't matter if you go all the way over here, you're done. You can't make any more money. So we layer in another contest that once it crosses this line, the next line it crosses this one and it's not that far away. And then once it crosses this one, here comes this one, and it's not that far away. And then this one, and it's not that far away. And this particular contest itself, if you win it, it's 25 bucks for a $1 entry. You can really unlock 50 bucks or so out of your lineup by doing this. And it really releases a lot of profit. First of all, it's very, very safe because you enter all of these cash contests first. And those are the lines that are the easiest to cross, and those are the lines you're going to cross first. Then you start working on the upside that's actually going to build your bankroll and provide your profit by working off the triple up, the quintuple up. And if you really run a nice little sweep where you just cash all of these, you had yourself a hell of a day, let alone win the 100-man. But here's the thing, if you win the 100-man contest, you're way past this line, and you're past this line, and you're past this line. You're way over here. You're in the green everywhere, and that's a beautiful day. This lineup obviously didn't do it. Guskowski didn't get me enough points to cross it. I barely missed, by 5 to 6 points. And if I could have got to the 116, which, I mean, shoot, he needed 9 more points, so he needed a 20-point day. That's asking a bit much out of a kicker. 11 is great, but if I had that monster day, then I could have eked into here, crossed all 4 of these lines, and paid for this whole lineup. I would have got back almost 10 bucks in entry fees, and what do I care if I lose at that point? I didn't lose anything. I got all my money back. In this case, of course, I missed, and I completely bricked them off. Another thing to talk about is why we enter bigger contests and the single entry type 50-50 contests. The reason I enter multiple, instead of taking all 5 bucks here, $2, $3, $4, $5, the reason that I entered $5 into separate 50-50s is to get exposure to more unique lineups, more contestants, more people, so that my variance of my lineup actually hashes out. Because as you can tell, this lineup, it varies a little bit, 113, 113, 114, 116. Well, if I get unlucky and take all 5 bucks and put it in this 116 and I score a 114.5, well, I would have hit that one, I would have hit that one, I would have hit that one, but I got unlucky and missed this one because the line was just a little bit higher than everything else. So that's not a good thing. So I like to spread out just in case I end up straddling that line. Then maybe I fall on the good side of a couple of them just due to luck. I mean, if I'm going to miss them, I'm going to miss them, just like this lineup did. But if I get that 114.5, 115, then I cruise across a couple of, or even 114, 113.9, at least would have hit 2 of these. It would have missed 2, but at least I'd have got something back by straddling that line. So let's move down real quick. If I can rearrange back by lineups, let's look at the one that's working. This had some exposure to tonight's game in it with a little, and this, we'll talk strategy, upside, how to build it. Do you stack? Do you not stack? How much do you stack? How safe do you need to play these lineups? Blah, blah, blah. And of course, I'll show you a little bit of the allocation of these lineups and how I kind of play my players. But this particular lineup, I couldn't find that extra 50-50. I was $2, $3, $4 in. I wanted that extra dollar in a 50-50. I didn't feel comfortable just putting it in. And we can talk about that too, why I time when I enter lineups and how. But I put it in a 10-man league instead, and then I put it in the triple up here, and a quintuple up, and a 100-man contest, just like I did the other one. This one happened to cross the lines, okay? This one did pretty well. It didn't go all the way, but it did pretty well. 130, crossed over into the 10-man league and unlocked $3 for second place. and then it hit these cash lines. Of course, it cruised right past those comfortably. That was a good thing. And then it hit the triple up. It cruised past that fairly comfortably. Barely got past the quintuple up by 2 points, it looks like. But it doesn't matter if I cross it by 0.5 points or 100 points. I'm still getting paid the same $10 no matter where I am in here. It did, well, that's something different. That's our own little season-long league that we're doing. And it barely made the cash right here in 11th place in the 100-man. So this is a sweep. I would call this a ladder sweep. In fact, I will screenshot this bad boy and sorry to do this at the same time. I'm trying to be efficient so that I can go to bed tonight. We'll take that one, close that out, and we will tweet that out in the morning as a ladder sweep. So suck it, everybody. That one was a good one. But you can see I put $30 on those ladders. I played 3 ladders, 10, 10, 10. Boom. Just by one sweep, and it wasn't even a good one because it didn't get deep into the 100-man contest. But even by one little sweep, poof, paid for all of my. If I'm down $1.10 on the week, so what? No damage to my bankroll whatsoever. That's why I like to play 3 ladders. If one of them does well, it pays for everything else. If a second one does well, now I'm making money. And I'm very, very protected on the downside of what I do. That's how I keep your bankroll intact when I teach you how to play DFS and how to select these contests. But what you can see here is getting past this money line, this money line, this money line really started unlocking the profit. Unlocked, $3 here, $6 here, $10 here. That's where all my profit came from. Once I cruised past these lines here, the whole damn thing was paid for. Okay, so what I'll show you in going by lineups is the one we're working on for Thursday night, because this is going to be the secret to the weekend. Because one did well, one did not do well, and we've got one with Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz coming at you. So, I mean, can we fairly confidently assume that Zach Ertz at home in a decent scoring game is going to get us close to 20 points? And can we assume that Zach Ertz is maybe going to get us the usual 5 to 10? So if you give me just conservatively, well, hopefully, but conservatively, 25 points, I think is a fair guess. This lineup's getting up close to 120, 130 in points again. If that does that, then it should be just fine like the others. Depending on how much exposure people have to Monday night, it might do really well. I don't know. If these guys have monster games, it might end up running the table and doing everything for me. I don't know. What I do know is that I only need 5 points. Well, look at how different the money line is here in these 50-50s. 98's a good cheap one, nice and soft competition in that one. 102, 104 got a little worse, and there's another 102. So it looks like 102 is the line in this particular slate, and it looks like that 9 points out of these two, hopefully if they're lower owned, I pass enough people to get into the money line there, and that's the goal. If that happens, I don't care what the rest of this lineup did because it unlocks all of the money that pays back my $10, and the week will be profitable. If I do a little bit better and get into the triple up line here, what's that take? About 20 points. If I get 20 or so out of Wentz and a little bit out of Ertz, I might cross that line. I might even cross that line, and I might get close to this one. If they have really good days, I might get close to this one. We might have another sweep, which would be, $30 in and $60 out. And yeah, that's just doubling it up off of one other lineup if I'd have put $60 on 50-50s. But this one, A, was more fun, and B, allowed me to play a third lineup that completely shot the crapper and allowed me to really spread out with my player pool and do a lot more things that really made this lineup a little bit safer, but still gave me upside for when these lineups do really, really well. So what do I mean when I say gave me more exposure to what I'm trying to do here? This lineup down here doesn't count. It's a primetime slate I'm just goofing with. The quarterbacks that I liked this week, I really liked Carson Wentz, but I had to play the Thursday through Monday slate to get him. Fine. But I knew I wanted to play the main slate, and that led me to Tom Brady and Dak Prescott. I didn't go all in on these guys. I knew that one of them would have a good day, and the other one might not. So I didn't want to be completely sold out and committed to one guy. I was able to take Prescott. I liked Ezekiel Elliott. I also liked Des Bryant this week. So I was able to pair, and I could have paired him with Zeke, but paired Dak with Dez, which is, a little bit safer with Dak. And if Dez blew up, I really had a good chance at that lineup. And then I was able to run in a couple of running backs that I like, in Peterson and Ingram. Ingram had a good day. Peterson obviously did not. But that allowed me to take Ezekiel Elliott and put him down here in an independent lineup. So now I don't care anymore. If Dak and Dez have the day, great. If Zeke has the day, great. I've got Zeke paired with Tom Brady. That's a pretty solid floor. Had some exposure tonight to Devonta Freeman, who was also in a good spot. Didn't really come through too well, but didn't really kill me. And Zeke had a big enough day to cover, everybody's ass. Paired Brady with Hogan, and then ran a cheap one in Fowler. I thought Michael Thomas was in a good spot. I also thought Devonta Adams was in a good spot. So, nobody's perfect. Hell, I thought Larry Fitzgerald was in a good spot. Ingram bailed that lineup out. Rudolph just did okay. Suck Up and the Titans bailed this lineup out. It's just, they kind of had enough pieces that they did okay as a group. But if you look at this, the way these lineups are structured, I really don't care the good games on the slate. I really don't care which players take part in there and have good games, because it's going to help one lineup or the other. And as long as it helps one lineup or the other, then something's going to do well. And something did. One of them bricked off and one of them tripled up. How can you be upset at that? You had a good day of watching daily fantasy football, and you made a little bit of money in the process. Who cares? Did I make millions of dollars? No. But guess what? I didn't produce a lineup good enough to win millions of dollars either. So instead of taking all of the shot on the GPP and then losing out everything, or maybe min cashing and being disappointed that I scored in what ended up being a top 10% lineup of the world, and instead of only getting back minimum money, I got back triple. Why? Because I allocated my contests smartly. This one dragged me down because I didn't cash in it, but this one recovered the whole deal. So they play off each other. They make each other safer. They give each other some exposure to upside, and they work just like the contests within. So going back to this one again, if we look at these numbers and keep track of what type of lineup we typically build, then you can play the contests accordingly. That's what I want to get you guys to. That's what I want to help everybody do. But to do that, you need access to me on a longer term basis. You need access to our other coaches inside the DFS Army on a more detailed basis, where we have the time to be able to talk to you one on one and make things really happen and make things really work for you. So that's why we advocate, or that's why we push the VIP program of the DFS Army, because we have the tools, we have the optimizer, we have all of the everything at your fingertips to give to you. And we also provide the coaching. We provide the Slack forums where we have guys, members as well as coaches, that will really dig in and help get you where you want to go. If you want to be a GPP only guy, I've got people I can tell you to talk to. If you want to be a cash only guy, we can talk. If you want to be more of an in-between guy and a ladder type guy that builds these contests, because this looks fascinating to you, with how do I layer all of these contests and get them to pay off, then you need to talk to me. Or I've got guys in the DFS Army that know this system as well as I do. So we can all talk to you. There's always somebody there pretty much 24/7, on a Tuesday, on a Friday night. It doesn't matter. We're always active in that Slack. We post about 20,000 messages a week in there, back and forth. Screenshots. You see me make videos, all this stuff. This is what's going to help make you a better player. So I need you to like and subscribe to this video. I need you to follow me at Chapadong out on Twitter, and I need you to use that coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P, to get a 20% discount off of the monthly subscription and unlock everything, not just football. One monthly subscription unlocks everything: baseball, basketball, soccer if you like to play soccer, golf, NASCAR, hockey. We're playing a lot of hockey right now. I mean, we're playing a ton of basketball right now. And we all help everybody in every sport. If you want to learn other sports, I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot faster doing this than you are out on the web reading article after article. Believe me, I've been there. I now write these articles because I've read so damn many of them that I can regurgitate the material to you. That's why I'm your coach. DFSArmy.com, coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P. Get in here, learn to be a better player, and let us help you. Take care, guys.